Hello, welcome to the instructional video on the Digital Enlarger app. I will start with a fresh install, so we're going to go through all the procedures in order to populate the app and use it, as you would experience when you try it for the first time. So the first thing the program will ask you for is to give permissions to use the microphone. That's needed because we'll be using our voice to expose the image. I will give the permissions here, and we are right in the program's main screen, and as you can see, it doesn't have any information yet. The three main standard modes are test exposure, single exposure, and the dual or split exposure. Since we don't have any value or image selected, before we can use the program, we have to define both of them. Let's set the duration first. I can define it in seconds, as a decimal, or as fractions of a second. Let us do it as a decimal here, and for the ease of explanation, I'll put 1 second. We save it, and then we can choose an image. It can be from the phone's gallery or from a folder in the device. The app can work with several different types of file extensions, including TIFFs. I will select one image from the gallery on this example. In any of the standard modes, you will always choose a negative source image to be exposed. Click on Save, and the image is now ready to be used. Since we've selected a primary image and duration, we're now able to use both of the first methods on the single mode. I will start with the test exposure. This mode will allow you to expose the image multiple times. If you repeat the voice command, it will repeat the exposure. This is very handy if you are doing a contrast test. Let's do a test exposure. Expose, expose, expose. As you can see, I have rotated the phone to landscape, but you can also expose in portrait. You will adjust this depending on your enlarger size and particular needs for each image. The single exposure is basically the same thing. It will expose one picture for one duration, in order to avoid any extra accidental exposures. I'm going to demonstrate it now. Expose. As you can see, the microphone is already off, and the program won't be able to trigger any new exposures. We can also choose a secondary time. Let's do it as a fraction this time. And I will put 1/10 of a second, so you can see that one image will go much faster than the other one. Let's save it. And now, the program automatically went into dual exposure mode. But we can't use it just yet, as we need to choose a secondary image as well. You probably would choose a version of the same image with different contrast settings or colored overlays. But I will just put a positive of my image so we can see what it does a bit more clearly. I click on Save and can try the dual exposure mode now. I'll do it in landscape this time. Expose. So as you see here, it has exposed both images by the two predefined times, one after the other. Note that the fastest exposure time possible will be limited to the refresh rate of your mobile device. You can also play with the brightness using the slider on the bottom of the screen. But unfortunately, you won't be able to see any changes here as I am recording the screen and the program can't capture that. I think I have covered all of the different features and parts of the standard mode's operation. In the next video, I'll teach you how to use the tonal exposure, a special mode, which is an app on itself, and will allow you to do some even more amazing prints, as it gives you total control over the contrast curve to each of your favorite paper materials. Curious? Dive with me into the last part of our instructional video and prepare to be amazed. Thanks for watching, and see you in part 2.